Here is the Wall Street Journal. I want to talk about house prices and who's buying up your houses. If you sell a house these days, the buyer might be a pension fund. Yield-chasing investors are snapping up single-family homes, competing with ordinary Americans and driving up prices. Here's what they're doing, okay? They buy a neighborhood. They buy the whole neighborhood. And first they start renting houses. So they buy a street, right? Buy one house and then another house and another house, and they'll rent them out to whoever's wanting to live there. And then when they own the neighborhood, they'll sell it. These guys sold it for $32 million to an investment fund, okay? So here, I'll read it here. D.R. Horton Incorporated built 124 houses in Conroe, Texas, rented them out, and then put the whole community, Amber Pines at Forest Ridge, on the block. A who's who of investors and home rental firms flocked to the December sale. The winning $32 million bid came from an online property investment platform, Fundraise LLC, which manages more than $1 billion on behalf of 150,000 individuals. $32 million for 124 homes. The country's most prolific home builder booked roughly twice what it typically makes selling houses to the middle class, an encouraging debut in the business of selling entire neighborhoods to investors. Okay, so you see what's happening here. They're snapping up the housing inventory to rent it to people. They own it. You pay them a monthly fee and you'll never own it. That's the goal, right? Debt slaves. Here's what they're doing in Canada. It's the same scam. Young people will never be able to afford a home if corporations are allowed to buy homes for rentals. This should be illegal. Condo developer plans to buy $1 billion worth of single-family homes for rentals. And I don't have the Globe and Mail, the account here, but I think that essentially it's the same scam. It's the same underpinnings, and the goal and end game is actually the same. You end up in the same place, right? Here's the article giving a bit of insight. Toronto condo developers buying hundreds of individual homes in Ontario with plans to rent them out and take advantage of the housing crisis across the country. Core Development Groups Limited is a large-scale single-family home rental operation in Canada, building an unproven business model where the market is fragmented and individual investors lease out a small number of their own properties for income. With billions of dollars thrown into the asset class by private equity firms, pension funds, and large companies, institutional home rentals in the United States have become highly lucrative. In Canada, the investors with deep pockets as well as real estate investment trusts have already acquired hundreds of apartment buildings, to tap into this strong rental demand, but have not moved into rental homes. We were trying to answer the question, why isn't someone doing this in Canada? We couldn't give an objective answer in Canada. It works as well or better than in the US, said Miss Latifat, who heads the single-family home rental division of the corporation. Core's core business is condo development and has 14 projects in the Toronto area. Last fall, Mr. Houghton raised $250 million from investors to buy nearly 400 properties, add basement apartments, and convert the homes into 2 rental units. Core is targeting 8 medium-sized cities in Ontario, and this year began buying properties in Kingston, St. Catharines, London, Barrie, Hamilton, Peterborough, and Cambridge. It will soon start shopping in Guelph. Its medium-term goal is to build a $1 billion portfolio of 4,000 rental units in Ontario, Quebec, BC, and Atlantic Canada by 2026. Mr. Houghton said the Core's rental units will provide affordable housing for families and residents who do not want to live in smaller apartments. If Core is successful, it could prompt major investors to follow suit. Do you see how it ends you up in the same place? You end up paying either more for the house, directly competing with these people who have very deep pockets and very interested investors, because a household pay monthly for years, 25, 50 years. Sure, you own the property then too? Great. Rebuild the house, put it twice as dense, twice as big, right? 4 times the property, it expands, you win, the investors win, everybody wins, everybody makes money, except for the people who are trying to buy a house, right? If you're trying to buy a house, sorry, but we could rent you this lovely house. This house right here that you're looking at buying will be coming on the rental market in 14 hours, as soon as the paperwork's signed. So we could get you in here right away, right? The sales agent becomes the rental agent. Very interesting how this is shaping up. If you have enough capital, I've got a call later on today. Maybe I'll talk with my friend about that. I was going to say this seems to be a good business to bet on, right? Let's get a portfolio of $3 or $4 million, $5 million portfolio of what, $5 million. That's 5 properties. Welcome to Canada these days, right? So anyway, very interesting if you've got some capital and some liquidity. Whew.